It's October, so you know what that means. It's the perfect time to talk about monsters. Hello, everyone. I'm Shelby. Welcome back to my channel. And yes, I got a hair upgrade. So let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, lie to me. Yeah, I needed a change. The long hair, I like my long hair, but it was just too much. I have very thick hair and I have a lot of it, and it was getting to be too much. So I thought having a chop and like some bangs and stuff, I don't know, I kind of feel like I could be like a rock star or something. Like this is giving me like 70s rock star chick energy. So I'm kind of here for that. Although I may see if I can go back at some point and like change my color, because it did make my hair a lot darker, especially because we moved my part to the middle. Like I was doing my hair over here, and like some of my highlights are now covered up. And then I also had a much more blonde down here that is now no longer here anymore. So anyway, that's me rambling about my hair stuff, and that is not what we're here today, are we? We are here to talk about monster romance because I love monster romance, and it's October, Halloween's coming up. So if you're anything like me and you really like, October is your season to read all of the spooky books, you know, paranormal, vampires, witches, maybe some like dark academia or gothic stories, but then you also, monsters are also what you want to read, because this is just the perfect time to read about all the monsters, all the monster books. So if you're like me and you're wanting to read some monster romance for this time of year, stay tuned, because I have a very long list of recommendations for you. I've got you covered. But before we get into those, please make sure if you like this video that you are hitting that thumbs up button and also subscribing if you haven't already. I post videos every Thursday and Sunday, and it really, really helps me out. I really appreciate every single one of you for being here, for subscribing, for watching my videos, for commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So enough sappy stuff. We're getting into these recs. So I have like an entire page of recs for you. This is going to start out more on the like cozy sweet side. And then as we go on, like the last books that I'm talking about are going to be more geared towards the darker side. So depending on what your mood is with monster stuff, you know, some of these sweeter romances might be better for if you are new to monster romances. They might not be as like jarring and alarming. That honestly sounds like the Beauty and the Beast song. True, that is a bit alarming. Anyway, okay. Now you all don't want to hear me sing. So first up, I have Blood Sweeter Than Honey by Chiara Forestry. This is a recent read for me. I adored this story. It's a bit insta-lust, sort of insta-love. Our monster in this one is our female character. She is a half demon, half fae creature, and she has a very traumatic past. She was in a war. She was taken captive. The war is over now, and her cousin is like the ruler of this realm and grants her a title. And so she's got land and she's got people that she kind of rules over, but this is just all brand new to her, and she's very overwhelmed with anything, and she decides that she needs a little bit of a break from what she's doing. She needs a little bit of a vacation. So she finds a witch that creates a portal for her and transports her in this portal to Earth. Now, once she gets to Earth, she doesn't realize that her magic is very suppressed on Earth, and she lands and is kind of mauled by a wild boar. And a local sheriff sees her, takes her in, And he decides that our male main character of the story, who owns a ranch, he's kind of a grumpy character. He also has a little bit of a traumatic past with his ex-girlfriend, and he was also in the military too. So there's some trauma that they're both dealing with. And so the sheriff asks him to take our female main character in and just kind of watch over her and protect her during her visitation while she's here. And while they're doing that, he reluctantly does this because he's wary of this strange woman, and he has not had the greatest past with women, considering his ex-girlfriend was not very great to him. And as soon as she sees him and comes to his home, she realizes that they are fated mates. So again, this turns into a little bit of like an insta-lust, insta-love scenario, but these characters were so freaking sweet to one another. Like the romance between them was just so adorable. They have a little bit of bonding together over their past trauma, so there's a little bit of that hurt comfort trope going on here. And they also have the hots for each other, and so this leads to some fantastic spicy times. And I just adored this story. It was very quick. It was fantastic. I loved it. Then we have Halfling by S.E. Wendell. This is the first book of her monstrous series. I don't remember what the series name of this is. This is the only book that I have read of this series, but I would guarantee that the rest of the books in this series would be fantastic ones to read as well. This one takes place in this fantasy world. Our female main character is human, and she gets kidnapped and taken to an orc camp to most likely become like a sex slave or a slave of some sort to them. But our male main character for the story, he is a halfling. So he is half orc, half human. His mother was taken in this manner, and that is how he came to be. So he sees her and he decides that he is going to help her and rescue her and get her out of the camp. So he does this, but then she's so far from home and she has no clue how to get back to her home. So they become kind of reluctant companions as he helps take her and journey back to where she is from. And so in doing so, they have to learn to get to know each other. They become friends, and a romance forms between them. So this one is a little bit of a slow burn, which I really didn't mind. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of slow burns, but I really enjoyed it with this one because I really love the slow building of their relationship and them getting to know each other. Because at first she's very scared of this orc-looking guy and making sure that she is safe and he's not going to harm her. And then it takes a little bit for them to voice their attraction to one another, because our halfling male main character, he is a complete cinnamon roll person. He dotes on her and he wants to take it slow because he wants to ensure that she feels safe and that she is comfortable, and he doesn't want to force anything on her. But then once they do admit their feelings for each other, sparks are flying, and it creates basically an inferno. Like, it's so spicy after that. And it was just such a sweet romance. There's also a cute little raccoon companion. They find a little baby raccoon and it becomes their like little pet, and it's so adorable. I adored this story. I highly recommend it, and I personally am planning on continuing with the series and reading more books from this. Same with this next recommendation. So next we have Maneater by Emily Antoinette. I have adored every single book that I have read from Emily Antoinette, but it is not a ton. So this one is actually a prequel novella to her Monsters of Moonvale series, which is a small town romance series, but with monsters, which we love. This first installment features our male main character. He is new in town and he gets invited to this witch coven because he wants to find a coven. He's a witch, but he finds out that they're actually more of a cult, and they have summoned our female main character, who is a succubus, to I don't remember, like gain her powers or have her think favorably of her. Anyway, so he's very alarmed by this and he rescues our female main character and gets her out of this situation. Turns out she is a sex worker. She is actually an exotic dancer because, of course, a succubus is an exotic dancer so that she can like gain her powers just by being all like sexy and whatnot. And she finds our male main character absolutely adorable and is so awed by him for being so sweet to her and rescuing her. And so then they decide to start a little romance. She's a little bit more dominant. She's very curvy as well. And this is just so good, so cute and sweet. And I definitely need to read the rest of the books in this series. I keep saying I'm going to, and then I get distracted by other things, and it just hasn't happened. But Emily Antoinette is also another great author. If you are looking for just an author for like overall their works to try out some monster romances, Emily Antoinette is a really great one because she also, I personally really like about this, she writes queer normative worlds. So we don't always typically get like the MF pairing. You know, she's got an alien romance book that has a non-binary character. She has sapphic books as well. It's a great queer representation. She also does have a lot of great mental health representation in her books too. So like the actual first book of this series, Behold Her, I think is what it's called. I know that one has like depression in it. So great author to check out if you're wanting to explore a little bit more into the monster romance realm. Then we have a super cute one, Jockstraps and Newspapers by Lizzie Strong. This one features a minotaur, a hunky himbo minotaur that is a player on this world's sports ball team, which is kind of like an amalgamation of a few different kinds of sports. I don't know. Anyway, so he is becoming the coach. Like this is his last year of being captain and playing on the team before next year he becomes the coach of the team. And our female main character, she is human and she has landed her dream job being a reporter at the local newspaper. But in order to be able to get some of the stories that she wants, she has to kind of dig through the trenches and just get random stories that she doesn't really care about. One of them being is to cover the local sports ball team and specifically cover our male main character. She doesn't care about sports ball. She's just trying to write her story so that she can get the type of stories that she wants to write. And so she strikes up conversation with our male main character and gets a little bit closer to him because, again, she knows nothing about the sport. And he's like, well, during our interviews, I can kind of teach you and give you better insight into the sport. However, they're also super attracted to one another, of course. And them having interactions with each other actually puts him into a heat of sorts. So there's nodding in this one and it's just very spicy. It's so good. I love this story. And it's a standalone. So if you're just wanting something like one-off, really quick to read, this one is a great one to do. Same with this next recommendation. So then we have Monster Mishap by Rory Miles. This is another standalone. This is kind of a portal fantasy romance. So our female main character, she accidentally somehow summons a portal into this monster realm that she like slips through. And how she slips through, she ends up kind of like landing literally on the lap of an orc. So that is their meet cute. This orc ends up being our male main character of this story and our love interest. He is actually the prince of his realm and he is off on his own because he does not want to deal with the duties of the kingdom. He doesn't want to deal with having to become a king. He just doesn't want to deal with any of it. So with her landing on his lap, they're trying to figure out a way to get her back home. And so to do that, they have to travel back to his kingdom in his palace to get help and find a way to get her back home. And of course, it's their romance. This one is hilarious. So if you love a good like rom-com story, this would be a great one to pick up to delve into, like monster romances. Super spicy as well. I adored this one. Then, if you want to try out like a series, next I have I Married a Lizard Man by Regine Abel. This is the first book of her Prime Mating Agency series, and I believe there's like maybe like 10 books in this series. I've only read the first two, but I did quite enjoy both of those books. So each book features a different monster person. So you can kind of try out a whole bunch of different ones, try out all their different creature features, and see if there's like a specific type of monster that you enjoy over some other ones. And basically all these books are arranged marriages. So this first book of the series, our female main character, she is the third daughter, and where she lives, like the first child, I think, inherits the family's land, and I don't remember what the second child does, but like the third child basically gets nothing. Her life is doomed to like working, I don't even remember, like the mines or something. I don't remember. So she decides that her best option is to try to find a good marriage. And so she gets the help of the Prime Mating Agency, which is like an agency that is across the realms, across the worlds, and they try to find matches for people. And they match her with the Lizard Man, who is I think he's like the ruler of his people, and his people are starting to kind of die out. So he is doing this to try to, with mating a species other than his own, to try to help stop that process of his people dying out, to kind of help with the gene pool. And then she also comes from like a farming family, so she helps a lot with their farming techniques that they have, and to try to help the people like prosper a little bit more. So there's a little bit of like a learning curve between them because there are two different cultures clashing. I don't know, there's something about that I really love, because it adds an extra element of the two characters having to get to know each other and having to like compromise on things and like their arguments, and it helps foster a better relationship, in my opinion. So I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, I've read the first two books of the series and have enjoyed them. I do plan on continuing with this series. It's a very long series. So if you're just wanting to like hunker down and read a bunch of different types of monsters, this one might be a good one, because all of these books are pretty quick to get through too. And then we have Agnar's Teacher by Jennifer Wood. This is also a start of the series that I have not finished because I'm terrible at finishing series. Which this one is another kind of like alien monster romance. So our female main character, she ends up getting abducted from Earth, but she is not the type of woman that they were wanting. So they dump her on this planet that has Orkin, which is basically orcs, but they're from another planet. And so she's dumped there. They're very nice to her and very nice to like other women. She's not the only female human that is there. They're very nice to her, but she is very worried. And she has this not so great meet cute with our male main character of the story. He is like chopping down trees, and he accidentally almost crushes her with one of the trees that he's chopping down. But in doing this, he becomes fascinated with her. But she is worried because she has really bad anxiety that she is on medication for on Earth, which of course she's not on Earth anymore, so they don't have anything like that. But they do have a plant that is grown somewhere that has very similar effects to what her medication gives to her. So she is bound and determined that she is going to travel to get this plant. And she's going to do it on her own, and she's going to be great. And then our male main character is like, you don't know what you're doing. And he follows after her and is going to go with her to protect her. And it's their romance. Super steamy, very quick read. It was great. Then, I don't know, if you feel like you are already in the mood for some Christmas books. I know, we're in October. I don't know. I like to wait until after October for the Christmas stuff, but publishers are already putting out Christmas stories this month. Some people want it to be Christmas all year. So, if you want to combine Halloween, monsters, with Christmas, this next recommendation is for you. So next up we have Dear Monster Gloss by Maeve Black. This one is a romance between a Cupid and Santa. And Santa is not actually this big old fat white dude with a beard. Santa is actually a dragon creature. And so our female main character, she's our Cupid. She finds love for other people all the time. And she is tired of that. She wants to find love for herself. Our male main character is a little bit of a grump. And he has just lost the spirit of Christmas. He doesn't really see the point anymore. And these characters get together and they decide that they're going to help each other out. He is going to help her try to find her love. And she is going to help him rediscover the spirit of Christmas. And of course, they discover those things with each other. This one is super spicy and I adored it. And the creature features on this one is simply fantastic. I mean, our male main character has a candy cane shaped appendage. It is also flavored to taste like Christmas. So I got quite a delight out of that one. This also, Maeve Black also has a couple other books that tie into this one. There is, I believe, Stupid Cupid is one, which is another Cupid romance that centers around like Valentine's Day. And then there's another one that takes place in the summertime, and it's like a poly romance with monsters and whatnot. And it's just a fun, sexy, good time. So we're starting to get a little bit more into like the darker books now. So next up we have Soul Eater by Lily Mayne. This one, it's starting to get a little bit dark with this one. This is the first book of her Monstrous series, which is another one that I haven't finished that I need to because I love this book. This one is kind of like a post-apocalyptic world on Earth where there's like this rip that has happened and monsters have come to Earth. So the population is down. Our male main character, our human male main character of the story, his only prospect was basically to join the army. And that was like his best chances of surviving. And so he's in this army and they are capturing or trying to capture the Soul Eater. So this is on like the military's like list of monsters to capture, to study, and then, if, you know, ideally to study, but if not, they're going to try to kill him. The Soul Eater, they've like surrounded the Soul Eater and he's going to kill all of them. But there's something about our male main character. Our male main character does not like aim to shoot at this guy. So our Soul Eater allows himself to get captured and then says that he is only going to answer questions and only going to talk to our human male main character of the story. And then our male main character helps him escape. And then they're just, the rest of the book, they're just kind of journeying together because now that he's let this monster escape, he is in big trouble with the military. Like, he can't go back or he's going to be killed because he betrayed them. So his best shot now is just to kind of stay with this monster. And so he's just getting to know this monstrous dude and they're on their little journey together and, you know, they get closer together and have a cute little romance. So the romance aspect of this one is very sweet. So similar to the ones that I've talked about before, it's just a very sweet and loving relationship, a very loving romance between these two characters. The world that they are in and some of the things that happen in this book make it a little bit more on the darker side. So this is kind of our transition, I feel like, into our darker books. Then we have The Wrath of Roses by Violet Taylor. This one is perfect if you are wanting a fairy tale retelling. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And it is very similar to, like, as I was reading this, I just kept picturing the Disney movie. So it follows along with the tale pretty well, except in this one, our beast stays a beast, and he has seen our Abel character, although she's named something else. And he is obsessed with her. He thinks she's gorgeous. He wants her, but he knows that because he's in his monstrous form, that if he tries to take her and have sex with her, that he could potentially hurt her. And he doesn't necessarily want to do that. So he also sees our other male character of this story and thinks that he is the perfect specimen to kind of act out what he is wanting. So he kidnaps both of these two people and makes them act out his fantasies while he gets to watch them. It's fantastic. So this works out a while. If you can see, this is definitely more on the darker side. So this works out for a little while until our beast decides that he's not satisfied with only watching them. He wants to join in now. It's wonderful. I loved it. Then another great series. If you are wanting, you're like, okay, I've heard all of those books. I want something truly like monstrous. I don't want something that, like, I want something that could potentially scare me. Maybe not the book per se, but like the monster person. Like, there's hardly anything humanoid about them. I want something like out there, different. So our next 3 books are going to be for you. So first we have the Naga Bride series by Naomi Lucas. So this is another series. I have only read the first 2 books of this series. This one is, we have these humans that are on this like space exploration to, I can't remember if they're actually coming back to Earth or if they're going to an Earth-like planet and just kind of like researching and exploring. And then, but once they get to this planet, they realize that there are intelligent beings on this planet, namely the Naga. So these are creatures that over time were human and snake, and they kind of like combined to create this being. But the Naga, all of their females are gone and have died out. So, of course, all of these males are wanting to try to figure out how they're going to repopulate themselves. So a few of them decide to take some of the females that were on this space expedition. And that's where our book 1 starts, because it's between our Naga male that has taken our human female and what they're going to do together and what they're going to do about that. So this one definitely has like dubious consent scenarios happening in this one. So just be warned. If you're not okay with that, then you might want to skip this one. But it was a fantastic time. I personally, so far of what I've read the series, book 2 is King Cobra. I personally like that one better than book 1. But book 1 like sets up the whole scenario for you. Each book is like a different couple. So this is another one that I do want to continue. I just stopped because book 3, the female main character's name is Shelby. And I don't know. Let me know if you can read like your own name in books. But like for me, it's just kind of weird. So I don't know if I can like read it and like get past that, but I do want to continue with this series. So great one to do. Another one that if you're like, yeah, I just want something like really, really monstrous, then we have Ensnared by Tiffany Roberts. This is the first book of a series, another one that I have not finished. And then they've also started making, I think they've got 2 other books that are like spin-off books of this series. So this one, for the most part, takes place the POV of our male main character, who is this arachnid, like spider humanoid being. And he goes out, he's hunting in the forest, and he stumbles upon an abandoned spaceship. He doesn't know that's what that is, but walks into it. It like opens up for him. He walks into it and he finds our female main character, who has been like resting in like stasis. Again, he doesn't know what that is, and accidentally awakens her. So now he's got this human female creature that she has no clue about any of the other creatures around in his realm in the forest. So she cannot fend for herself. So he takes her to his like hunting kind of, it's not a cabin, it's like a kind of like a tree house, and to protect her. But they cannot understand each other. They speak different languages. So this has one of my other like favorite tropes in it, which is the language barrier, which is another plot device that I absolutely adore because it forces these characters to like learn each other's culture and their language to try to communicate with each other. But she like literally cannot do anything. She cannot fend for herself. She is completely reliant on him to take care of her and keep her safe. And then, yeah, at some point she decides that something about him just looks super sexy, and she wants to bang her spider person. I'm fully enjoying this video, guys. And then our last book that I'm going to recommend, which if you're surprised at all that this book is on here, I guess you haven't been watching some of my latest videos recently, but the last book we have on here is A Soul to Keep by Oprah Rain. This is the first book of her Duskwalker Bride series, which I am currently reading. I am on book 2 right now, and I'm going to finish this series. I've adored book 1. I want to finish this. It's been fantastic. So our first book of this series is about our female main character. She is kind of ostracized in her town. She has been called like a bad omen. And so there is this Duskwalker who is, the town believes, kind of like a demon of sorts. And every few years he comes to the town requesting a human to come back with him. And in trade, he like gives them some like protective stuff for their town. And so this year, she is the one that is being given to him. And so she is taken back to the void, the area where there's, again, kind of like with Soul Eater, this like area that's like been ripped out and that allowed demons into the human realm. So he takes her back to his home, and she's imagining this like cold, dank cabin, and she doesn't know what's going to happen, if she's going to be killed, if she will survive. But lo and behold, he actually has built a cabin and made furniture, and honestly, he's very lonely, and he just wants somebody to be with him, to be his companion. That's really all he's wanting. So this is one of the cutest and sweetest romances, but it does have a lot of different like monstrous creatures in here. It is pretty dark, and there's this big overarching storyline that is going throughout this series. And our Orpheus, our male main character of the story, he is very monstrous. There's like hardly anything human-esque about him. I mean, he's a freaking skull for a face. How do you have sweet, sexy time with that? Like, they can't even kiss. So, you know, that's for like the actual, like the real, like, yes, I like monster romances. I'm diving into this one. Although I have also recommended this to people that have never picked up a single monster romance book because, like, the romance aspect of this story is chef's kiss. It's so cute. I'm, like I said, I'm on book 2. I'm really enjoying that one too. And I'm going to keep reading because this is just it's just such a feel good kind of story, and it's so unique too. I don't know, I loved it. But wow, I've been filming for quite a while. But that is going to be it for my monster romance recommendations. I love monster romances. So if you have any other recommendations for me, please leave a comment with those because I have a pretty good size list to TBR of further monster recs that are further monster books that I need to check out, but I'm always happy to add to that. And then also you can help all the rest of us out watching this video too of more monster books to check out. That's going to be it. Make sure you're hitting all the buttons. Thank you. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.